How do some families stay rich for centuries, while others lose it all in a single generation? Could you be making common financial mistakes that might prevent your kids, and even grandkids, from building true generational wealth? What do the world's richest families know about wealth that others don't? Are the steps you're taking today setting your family up for a wealthy future or dooming them to start from scratch? By the end of this video, you'll not only understand how to create lasting wealth, but also gain a solid game plan for passing it on effectively to future generations. Grab a notepad because you're about to dive into a blueprint for building true generational wealth. Number 14 is very important. By the time you turn 75, only 1 in 100 people will truly be financially secure. And here's the kicker. 70% of wealthy families lose their wealth by the second generation, and a staggering 90% by the third. Even if you succeed in creating wealth during the most abundant period in history, statistics show that either you, your children, or your grandchildren will likely squander it. But it doesn't have to be this way. Number 1. You need to buy land. To understand generational wealth, we first need to distinguish between personal wealth and family wealth. Personal wealth is what you can spend freely, a $100,000 savings account that you could deplete anytime. Family wealth, however, is often tied up in assets that aren't easily liquidated, making it less vulnerable to impulsive spending. And among all assets, land is the ultimate store of value. There's a limited supply, and as the global population grows, the demand for land will only increase. Buy land, keep it within the family, and watch it appreciate over time. In number 5, we'll show you how to use land as an income source without having to sell it. Number 2, buy cash-flowing property. Heavily invest in rental properties, like apartment buildings, commercial spaces, or even hotels. Sets the foundation for steady cash flow. The secret is simple: buy, hold, and cash in consistently, as long as the property serves a demand. Here's a simple but powerful recipe for generational wealth. Acquire at least 2 rental properties during your lifetime. They might not make you live like a king, but they'll ensure you never go hungry. When your children reach adulthood, encourage them to buy 2 rental properties as well. By the second generation, you'll have established a family portfolio that generates passive income, a legacy that can endure for decades. People will always need places to live, shop, and stay, making property a reliable wealth-building asset. If you believe you will leave a wealthy legacy, type wealth in the comment. Number 3. Create an evergreen business. Some businesses withstand the test of time, while others fade away. TikTok fame might be hot right now, but your grandkids probably won't be living off your viral videos. That's where an evergreen business comes in. One that has thrived in the past, thrives now, and will continue to thrive long after you're gone. Ever wonder why names like Hilton, Ford, and Gucci are still around? These brands represent someone's legacy, a family business that stood the test of time because it kept innovating. Now think about your family name. What would it look like as a brand? What kind of business could you create that your children and grandchildren could proudly carry forward? Number 4. By the S&P 500. You've heard the stories. If only you'd invested in Apple or Bitcoin early on, you'd be a billionaire by now. But realistically, no one can predict the next Apple or Bitcoin. Instead, consider the S&P 500, a historically solid passive investment vehicle. This index comprises the 500 best-performing companies in the U.S., constantly updated to replace underperforming companies. Over the years, the S&P 500 has become a cornerstone for long-term wealth building. For instance, $100,000 invested in the S&P 500 in 2010 would now be worth over $950,000. That's a 9.5x return in just 15 years. Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors, hasn't outperformed the S&P 500 in over a decade. For those interested in investing, consider trusted platforms like Vanguard or Fidelity for long-term exposure. This steady, historically high-performing asset is a must-have in any wealth-building plan. Number 5. The BBD strategy. This is the secret formula to true generational wealth. Buy, borrow, die. In simple terms, generational wealth comes down to 3 factors: what you buy, what you do with it, and what happens when you're gone. Let's break it down. Buy assets that appreciate over time. When you need cash, never sell your assets. Instead, borrow against them. Suppose you own a piece of land or an apartment and need funds. Rather than selling it, take out a loan against its value. This way, you avoid paying taxes on borrowed money and keep the asset within the family. The wealthy have used this technique for centuries, creating wealth that compounds and grows while avoiding unnecessary tax hits. Understand estate taxes and plan for wealth transfer. Governments impose inheritance taxes that can claim 17 to 40% of your wealth upon your death. Planning your wealth transfer wisely can help you preserve more of it for future generations. Number 6. Buy and hold Bitcoin. Technology is reshaping wealth, and Bitcoin represents an exciting opportunity in this space. Every 20 years or so, we witness a technological revolution. While we don't advise betting everything on Bitcoin, buying a single Bitcoin could be a savvy move for your child's future. In a world dealing with inflation, economic instability, and constant currency fluctuations, Bitcoin's scarcity and digital nature make it a potentially powerful store of value. With only 21 million Bitcoins ever to exist, there won't be enough for every millionaire on Earth to own a whole one, making it an asymmetric risk worth considering for future wealth. Number 7. Buy and hold gemstones. Okay, we get it. Precious metals and jewels seem like relics of the past, but they have value in the wealth journey. Your ancestors passed down jewelry because it's essentially portable wealth. Historically, jewelry wasn't just a status symbol. It was a safety net, something they could pawn in emergencies. And while we don't think gold and silver are the ultimate modern investments, they still serve as a hedge for those who think we may return to a resource-based economy. Gold may lose value if it becomes abundant, like what happened to pearls when artificial farming took over. But until then, it holds a place. Number 8. Buy and hold art or other valued collectibles. Let's keep this short. Collectibles hold value due to desire, not utility. Elvis's guitar, for example, holds intangible worth that fans value, while the same guitar without his name would be worth less. Art as an asset has outperformed the S&P 500 over 20 years, though traditionally only the wealthy had access. Now, platforms like Masterworks let everyday investors buy shares in high-value art like Basquiat and Warhol, benefiting when the art appreciates. Art offers safe harbor in tough markets, proving it's more than a luxury item. The first half of this video was all about acquiring wealth. This half is as important as acquiring wealth. It is about actions that grow it. Number 9. Never stop earning, minimize taxes. First off, if you want long-term wealth, keep earning. You don't have to grind away at a job you hate, but staying productive provides purpose. Wealth and work go hand in hand. Teaching kids to build wealth means they learn to hold on to it, and a crucial aspect is tax knowledge. Get a good accountant who can optimize your tax strategies. Structure expenses as business expenses. Involve your kids in the business. And set up a family corporation to maximize tax advantages legally. The goal is to pay only what's legally required. Number 10. Compound wealth and knowledge perpetually. Wealth and knowledge go together. First you learn, then you earn. This is why the wealthy read so much. Books hold knowledge that multiplies returns in life, not just in money. Albert Einstein called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world, and he was right. Moving money strategically into higher return investments keeps it growing. Don't let earnings sit idle. When used well, compounding generates endless potential. Number 11. Marry well. Like it or not, your marriage is one of the biggest factors in sustaining wealth. Divorce without a prenup can split assets drastically. This was why arranged marriages were common. They protected family wealth. With people having fewer kids today, inheritance dynamics shift. Two only children who marry inherit wealth from both sides. Protect your kids' financial futures through prenups or trusts, which keep assets safe from relationship setbacks. Number 12. Mentor your kids to continue or build on your legacy. Only 30% of family businesses pass to the second generation. Many kids avoid taking over because they don't want to live in their parents' shadow. But if your children start life better than you did, that's success. A parent's job is to equip their kids with tools for life, more than just providing food and shelter. You're their mentor, show them your journey, and they'll be inspired to continue it. Number 13. Set up a trust. Wealth protection is possible with legal tools like trusts. Trust secure assets, ensuring kids don't waste it. With various structures available, you can set up terms for when wealth is distributed, like when a child graduates or reaches specific milestones. Trusts can lower taxes, help bypass inheritance tax, and are designed to protect your wealth for future generations. Number 14. The 4% Rule. The 4% rule is a golden rule for preserving wealth. If your investments grow between 6 to 10% annually, withdraw only 4%, letting the rest compound. For instance, if you have $2 million and earn $200,000 in interest, withdraw $80,000 and reinvest the rest. This ensures that wealth outpaces withdrawals, safeguarding future security. For those of you that have stayed till this point, it shows you are serious in getting wealth stored up for your generation. I have a bonus step for you. Write a will. It's inevitable. One day, you won't be here. A will ensures your wealth flows according to your wishes, without dispute. Keep in mind that your children, by the time you're gone, will likely be in their 50s or 60s. The inheritance is often for your grandchildren's benefit. By setting a detailed will, you can ensure that those who deserve it receive your legacy. Your legacy is the future. What you do now affects generations to come. We're on the brink of a massive recession with inflation and high costs of living. Ideally, we want our children to have enough to do anything, but not so much they do nothing. Wealth without purpose leads to dissatisfaction. As a parent, open doors for your kids and let them choose their paths. If you leave no plan, they may face more challenges than you did. The super wealthy understand this. Some even attend family retreats with children and grandchildren to align their family strategy. Families that plan prosper. This isn't just about surviving Wednesday. It's about creating a true legacy. Ready to step up? Write "I am unstoppable" in the comments if you're ready to take on this challenge with us. Subscribe to learn timeless tips to be among the wealthiest 1%.